Hey everybody, welcome back into the Parker and the Man page at yournews.com. Mark Wilson with your webcam, the 2nd of December, Wednesday. Just making sure that we are counting it down to Christmas 2009, 23 days away. We're the official countdown for Christmas in 2009 right here at yournews.com. Read the column today. It has to do with the silly, crazy, wacky, dumb trade rules in the NBA which prevent teams from getting better quickly. Case in point, your Detroit Pistons. Tayshaun Prince, Rip Hamilton, both out. Ben Gordon had the ankle thing. He's going to try to play against his former Bulls team tonight in Chicago. But they need some help. John Kuester needs a little bit of help. And it's tough to make a deal. And now that the Pistons need to make trades, you see how tough it is. I'll give you a guy, Tracy McGrady, sitting down there with the Houston Rockets, claims he's ready to play. The Rockets won't play him. They won't clear him. They're actually getting some money back from him, from insurance, because he's missed half a season in a calendar year, 41 games plus. Only played 35 last year. He and Yao Ming were both out for the Rockets. They did well without him. Got to the farthest point in the postseason they had in a while. Point about McGrady is you can't get him because, if you can believe it, he's the highest paid player in the NBA this year at about 23 million bucks. That's more than Kobe and LeBron and Dirk Nowitzki and Steve Nash and all those guys. I know it's Tracy McGrady, T-Mac from Auburndale, Florida. But you'd like to think that maybe the Pistons could get a guy like that, but you'd have to give up like half your team to do it, or two big players, Tayshaun and Rip, just to make the money work. That's part of the crazy trade rules. If you can figure them all out, go for it, because they're about yay big. That's how many there are. There's just a ton of them. So that's part of the column today. So is the Michigan State loss to North Carolina in the ACC Big Ten Challenge last night. That means 3 times in a calendar year Michigan State has fallen. That's 3 right there to the Tar Heels, twice at Ford Field and now in Chapel Hill. Of course, this was the rematch of the great NCAA championship game, that great weekend that one of the Sports Illustrated guys thought MSU should get the Sportsman of the Year. That went to Derek Jeter because of what they did for the city of Detroit and how Tom Izzo and everybody reacted to that. It was the rematch of that game. They're getting closer. They lost by 35 at Ford Field back in December of last year. Then they lost by, 17 in the title game, and they lost 7-8 points last night. So they're getting there. But State didn't play a bad game. They just couldn't hit 3-pointers, only 2 of 20. So Roy Williams gets his 601st win. And let's face it, nobody wins the Dean Dome. I mean, it's impossible. They've won, I think, 35 in a row or something in the non-conference. But that's the same as Breslin. Same way for Michigan State. Can't have both ways, Tommy Izzo. I mean, you beat everybody in the non-conf there. Even Duke doesn't beat North Carolina at the Dean Dome. So it was a valiant effort, couldn't get it done, and the Spartans lost that one. Michigan will play their ACC Big Ten Challenge game tonight at Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor against Boston College. Spartans were one of 3 Big Ten teams, I believe, to lose last night. Iowa and Indiana also lost. The winners were Northwestern and Purdue. They won their games. Also, and this is more serious, now I'm going to have my serious folding arms thing here on the Michigan State football thing. 8 more players suspended yesterday, 3 big-time names, BJ Cunningham, Mark Dell, and Chris L. Rucker, starters, for their involvement in that brawl at Rather Hall on the MSU campus following the awards banquet. You probably heard about it. I've written about it, talked about it here on the webcam. There is some bad stuff going at MSU, and here's the big problem. MSU had a great opportunity to take advantage of Michigan's downfall here, on the field and off the field. And instead, MSU followed a 9-3 season with 6-6, and now these off-the-field problems. These are big time. It makes what Mark D'Antonio, what Rich Rodriguez has done with NCAA logs look menial. I mean, this stuff with guys with ski masks and attacking people at dormitories, and there was an incident the night before at a bar called Small Planet in the East Lansing area. This is the kind of thing that D'Antonio has to address. At some point, he has to come clean about what's going on in his program, because right now it looks like he has lost control of his guys. And you know what that can end up costing? D'Antonio's job. Mark D'Antonio may be the next to go. So even though he suspended 8 more, and that falls on the heels of suspending Len Winston and Rajan Rhett, this is bad. And it's really ill-timed, and it's never a good time. But with Michigan the way they are, you thought that State could have taken advantage. But instead, they've got this going on. So check that out, too. I wrote all about it. You can see that. Also, Bobby Bowden retiring from college football at Florida State University, where he was incredible for a long time. 80 years old, second winningest coach in college football, major division, behind Joe Paterno, 388 wins. And Bobby Bowden, just a good old boy, homeboy, did a lot for FSU down in Tallahassee. You know the amazing thing? You can still call him. Call me, Bobby. His number is listed in the phone book. That's the kind of guy he is. Never met a microphone. I wrote this. Never met a microphone he didn't like. So Bobby Bowden calls it quits. Jimbo Fisher, his handpicked successor down there at Florida State. Also, Placido Polanco not offered arbitration by the Detroit Tigers. It means the Tigers basically have lost Polanco to free agency. You're going to have a new, possibly shortstop and second baseman next year. That means 4 different shortstops for the Tigers in 4 years. Guillen, Renteria, Adam Everett, who looks like he's going to Boston, or could be targeted to the Red Sox. And then, now with Everett gone, we have a 4th one coming in 2010. So check that all out, the NBA trade rules, why you can't get a McGrady anymore and make your team any better. By the way, just to let you know, in the decade of the 70s, there were 8 different NBA champions. Since then, 30 years, 8 different NBA champions. Do with it what you will. Do the math. The MSU lost to North Carolina, to North Kakalaki in the Big Ten ACC. The MSU football problems. Man, oh man, oh man. Mark D'Antonio, come clean on this thing already, will you please? Just let us know what's cooking. I know there's some legal issues here, but you got to say something. Bobby Bowden's retirement at Florida State and Placido Polanco not offered arbitration, even though Fernando Rodney and Brandon Lyon were. They aren't close to maybe accepting the arbitration, and Dave Dabrowski doesn't think they will, but that's all part of the deal. So there it is, yournews.com, the Parker and the Man page, counting it down to Christmas 2009, just 23 days away. Check it all out.